Despite us having a good week, it was not a good week for a couple of unlucky billionaires who decided to explore the depths.
Laughing already? You can't even get through the. Damn.
What?
She laughing already.
I know this
was stupid.
This was a very, very wild story. Just period. OceanGate decided to go to explore the Titanic in the submarine equivalent of a go-kart.
A minivan.
Yeah, they tried to venture 2.5 miles deep into the ocean to view the Titanic in a makeshift submarine.
Controlled by a PlayStation controller.
Yeah, basically controlled by, the equivalent of a PC controller. And things didn't end as expected for the billionaires.
For them.
For them. Well, I mean, we kind of expected it.
That's why we don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, but to be fair, the submarine did make the trek, I think, 3 or 4 times prior to it. So
didn't they say every time there was something wrong, though?
Yeah, I mean, there was something wrong each time, but they actually went down there and were successful before. So.
Yeah, but they also said that their motherboard, every time it was a problem with their motherboard.
Yeah.
Once they got to a certain depth, it would go out. So they already knew that.
Yeah.
They might come back in later on.
Yeah.
You know, but
that shit started trying to recalculate like ways. Recalculating.
Yeah, but in this situation, there was also I believe, 16-year-old kid on board. So I think it was a total of 5 victims. And yeah, this is just kind of another example of white people trying to test Mother Nature.
It's not even too much money. It's that part. It's trying to test Mother Nature, but not being smart about it.
Yeah. I mean, James Cameron actually did do a successful trek of the Titanic in a much more stable submarine.
Stable, sturdy submarine, not a little...
Yeah, so
vessel.
If I spend that much money to go on a trip down there, you think I'm get on something bigger than a minivan? Yeah. Like, there need to be luxury. It need to be.
But I don't know if you can. But that's the thing. I don't know if you can take something a certain size to that.
It don't have to
depth.
be big. It can still be the same size, but better than what it is. They said people was defecating on themselves and all that type of stuff for days. You know, like for a while. So like it had to be something better. You know. For me to be, if I'm spending that amount of money to do something like that, I want to be comfortable about doing it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you just can't gamble in Mother Nature with makeshift vehicles like that. So, you know, it's very dangerous to do. But I was more surprised at kind of the reactions a lot of people were having. My Facebook feed was like an overwhelming different blend of emotions, I guess. And I saw a lot of that's what surprised me. Defending the dude. Like, oh, this is what explorers do, and I think it's heartless to make jokes about like this. And I'm like, this is all you can do is make jokes about like this because
bring a little humor to it because
I mean, no, there's a lot of humor involved. I mean, the whole situation.
Nice about it.
Nah. I mean, the whole situation sucks because 5 people died. I mean, that part sucks, but I mean, prior to that, like, the whole thing is laughable, especially when I saw that video they showed of the inside of the submarine and the dude pulled out the little Logitech PC game controller to show you how he controls the submarine. And that's what made me laugh and go, who the hell would get on something like that?
No. Okay. What about the fact that you can't do anything from the inside?
Oh, yeah. You have to seal it from the outside.
Yeah.
Because you don't, and that's because of how it's built. You can't risk having a crack, letting in water. So the only way to ensure that is to only have it from the outside.
Like 17 to 19 bolts.
You got one button. What they said? They got one. It was one button in there.
Yeah, it's one button. And
what was that for? Emergency?
Yeah, the design is not good at all. I mean, the design is terrible, but
I can't.
It's what you do, man. It's like you're dealing with.
You're not connected to nothing besides a internet signal. Word.
And you got to think too.
The
like
internet wasn't even on.
Part of the woods, you don't have a signal.
Yeah.
So if you're going up underwater, you're going up underwater.
And that dude that you're talking about, wasn't he connected to something too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had like a rope or some type of, some type of apparatus.
Yeah. There was supposed to be some sort of apparatus. I don't think it was connected, however. So.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
And allegedly, they were saying that they took off like maybe 5 something that morning, and it took them like 2 hours. If they take about 2 hours to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
At 1:45, like an hour and 45 minutes, that's when they started having problems and technical difficulties, right? So there was like when 8 o'clock came, something wasn't right. They didn't contact the Coast Guard or anything until 9 something that night. Mm-hmm. So those people were down there from that time all the way to that time without people even knowing they were down there. Mm-hmm. Like they was like usually when something like that happens, they want you want to let them know immediately. Them people were down there for hours. You know what I'm saying? With nobody knowing exactly where they were. I think they was trying to cover their ass before they called for help. Mm-hmm. You see, it was great. There was another part of it that once they got submerged into the water that supposed to came off and floated to the top. That's the part that didn't float to the top till like 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
So it was a whole lot with it.
Mm-hmm. And so
didn't they say that? But still, on top of that, they said that thing didn't even last long though.
No, that was like the 5th trek.
Yeah, they said. But I'm talking about on the trip though. They said that floated early.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. That's just proves, man, you can't go into Mother Nature playing around. And I was reading a documentary on this, and they were just saying the air and space will be explored more than the oceans will.
Exactly.
Because you got to deal with the pressure of water.
Exactly.
And you don't have that pressure in the air and space, so you can go a lot further in exploring those. But as far as the ocean, it's crazy. Only like 10% of the ocean or less than 10% of the ocean has been explored.
Exactly.
So you dealing with, you don't know what. It's a final frontier. 90% of the ocean, there's probably animals in there that we have yet to discover. That
don't
probably
even know about them.
That are probably the size
ran
of
into the Kraken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're the size of a blue whale. Yeah, blue whale and stuff. They're animals that size that have been discovered.
Seen that pod and slapped that down.
Yeah.
What the hell is it? Ping.
Yeah.
Maybe it was eaten by a kraken, and that's what caused it. Yeah, exploded. They said it was immediate when it happened. So, I mean, at least they weren't in pain.
They said they didn't suffer.
Yeah, but did you see the stepson to the billionaire who was out at the Blink 182 concert while his stepfather
enjoying life? He was like, I want no parts of that.
But that was his stepfather. He's like, all that was a wallet to that dude. You're not my daddy. Give me money. That's all you. Give me money. I got to go to this Blink 182 concert. I bet that's what he asked for money for right before they went on the trip.
You go down to the seat, Dad.
Yeah. You're not my real dad. Give me money, Blink 182, Dad.
Give me your money, Dad.
But yeah, that's OceanGate. So I guess they're still looking into charges. I don't know who they're going to charge. I thought everybody was dead, but apparently there's people at the actual company that can, I guess, be charged.
I'm sure they signed a waiver, but they're going to.
Yeah. They signed a waiver. That's the thing. Everybody knew there was a possibility that they could die, and they signed a waiver stating and saying they understood that. So I'm really not sure. These are billionaires, so somehow, some way, there's going to be some suing going on, and somebody's going to get sued because there's always blame to go around when a billionaire dies unexpectedly. So
ain't that what happened with the Titanic? People drowned in the same water that y'all drowned in. Trying to see them. Trying to see the boat that they died on,
This is Titanic, the remix.
Yeah, it's a Titanic 2. It's a Rich Billionaires 0 in terms of matchups. So I definitely think there's somebody's got to take the blame, and I don't know who, because there's basically nobody you can really blame that's still alive. And
if a waiver was signed, y'all signed it. Y'all signed y'all life away. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Or anything that can come from it.
Yeah, so we'll see how this plays out. But I think the one lesson we can learn is don't go to the Titanic in the submarine equivalent of a go-kart. If you can go to Home Depot and buy the parts, the main parts, I don't think that's a submarine you want to get in. I don't barely trust those miniature houses Home Depot sells, let alone a damn submarine that would venture 2 point something miles deep.